Well, number 14 Iowa State and Texas Tech. It's a three-way tie atop the conference after Kansas beat West Virginia last night. Iowa State can move to within a game of first with a win here. They're going to be playing, though, Tim, without Jameel McKay, the center, under team suspension for the second straight. That is significant.
It is, because Texas Tech will look to drive it to the rim without McKay's presence, and he was the best player on the floor early January in Iowa State's win in Ames over Texas Tech.
Texas Tech controls the opening tip. And this is Zach Smith going inside, having trouble against that defense. Burton is in there. Deonte Burton in the starting lineup with McKay out. Justin Gray, third straight game in the starting lineup for the Red Raider, and he gets the scoring started.
Justin Gray, not a great outside shooter, more of a slasher, but Texas Tech has to give what Iowa State gives them. And the thing about Iowa State, they're going to play off the non-shooters, Gray and Evans.
There's Monte Morris attacking, the terrific point guard, one of the best in the country. Abdul Nader penetrates, and that's a good sign for the senior forward. He's coming off a rare scoreless game in his career at Oklahoma State on Saturday.
Well, Nader needs to give them at least his 12 per game without the presence of McKay out there on the floor. But the two keys are Morris and Niang. They need to have big nights for Iowa State.
This is the sixth game without Lawrence Odiase for the Red Raiders. He's got a broken foot. So both teams without their big men tonight. 5 on their shot clock. Gray hits a three. Great start for Justin Gray. He's got 6.
Goodness. Tubby Smith with the wide eyes said, maybe this is our night. Justin Gray knocking it down early.
Actually, he's got 5, as one of them was a long two-point basket. And there's an Iowa State turnover. They may go back and look at that first one. Not exactly sure whether that was a 3 or 2. We've got a 2 on the screen right now, as that's what it was called.
Well, if they probably would have looked at it right there, and there was a dead ball in that turnover with the offensive foul. I'm pretty sure that was a 2 by Gray, but our crack staff of officials tonight, I'm sure we'll get it right.
Matthew Temple playing with goggles here tonight for Texas Tech. Injured his eye in the first half at Texas on Saturday. Took a thumb to the left eye. An ugly injury, busted blood vessels. He's feeling better, looks better too. As Matt Thomas knocks it down, he's been playing great basketball as of late for the Cyclones.
It was a tough shot, a contested shot, but that's what Thomas does. He makes tough ones, both from the wing and the corner.
Iowa State, as you know, they can score in bunches. Jumped out to an 18-point lead in the first meeting between these two teams in Ames. That was in the first 12 minutes. Contact inside. That foul is against Burton, his first.
Well, Matt Temple's important, Clay, in the fact that, he's just a big body, and without Lawrence Odiase, they don't really have a presence in the middle of the floor. So he'll look to screen, he'll bang on the defensive end of the floor. They're not going to look to throw him the ball that much, but it's a credit to him that he's out there on the floor with that injury.
Turned over, here comes Georges Niang. Named to the Wooden late season top 20 earlier today. Feeds Burton. And he's strong off the heel, and skying for the rebound is Keenan Evans. He's been trending up, double figures in 2 of his last 3 games. Temple over the top of Niang.
That's what they don't need. They don't need Matt Temple to take mid-range jumpers. They need to find their scorers out there on the floor.
Oh, nice feed, Niang to Burton. Got it and one. A little fist pump from Georges Niang.
Well, this is what makes Iowa State so difficult to defend. Again, here's what Georges Niang. He'll get you from the outside as the trailer, point forward. He'll step off that mid-post area, and so unselfish and willing and able to find that cutting open man to the rim.
3-point play for Burton. This is what they're missing here tonight. Jameel McKay, team suspension. Second straight game. Did not make the trip. He's back at Ames. They won at Oklahoma State on Saturday without him. But they struggled for that first half. They had just 3 points against the Cowboys in the first 10 minutes of game. So there was an adjustment period without Jameel McKay.
There was an adjustment period on both ends of the floor, and it will continue tonight because they are a different-looking team without him. They've got the offensive ability, and they changed their look a little bit with Burton on the floor, but Burton has a lot of skill, but defensively is where they really miss McKay.
There's Steve Prohm, first-year head coach of the Cyclones, 41 years old, took over for Fred Hoiberg, who's now in the NBA. He's making a stand, sending a message to McKay and really the rest of the program.
Well, Steve's been around. He's been successful. He understands how to build a winning program his way, and it's not just for this season and the wins. He's doing it for the long haul.
Gocher feeds Zach Smith. Zach Smith, top shot blocker and rebounder for the Red Raiders. Tubby wants him to be a more consistent scorer. That's the way to do it.
Running the floor, and he had a good game in Ames against George Niang. Niang's got to run the floor with him.
Nader for three. Got it. Good start for Abdul Nader. Northern Illinois transfer, and it's 10-7 Cyclones.
He's only made 24 threes on the season, but Abdul Nader is a sneaky scorer. He can get it going.
Here's Aaron Ross with the beard, the junior from Little Rock. He's been one of the best players for Tech lately. That shot didn't go for Gocher, and contact underneath.
Well, Zach Smith can do a lot of things on the floor. He is a live body, but in transition can run and jump and finish at the rim.
Monte Morris and the number 14 Cyclones have a 2-point lead over Texas Tech. They did give Justin Gray a 3-pointer, so that cleans that up. It is 10-8. He's Tim Welsh. I'm Clay Mathick. Welcome to Lubbock. And Monte Morris, one of the best point guards in the country. He hasn't committed a turnover yet in the month of February.
39 assists, 3 turnovers in his last 5 games. I mean, that is unbelievable. Talking about a coach coming in his first year, giving his keys to the car to the manager, to the coach on the floor. And this guy is in every way, does everything just about right for Iowa State. I mean, you can run a lot of different things. Of course, he's got George Niang next to him, but we talked to him today and said, well, tell us your mindset about the no turnovers, never turn over. I mean, nobody ever wants to turn over, but you must have a special theory in your head. He says, I take care of the ball like it was my mama's purse. So that was a classic, and I said, well, we have to use that one because you are a special point guard.
He was in a great mood at shoot-around this morning. He's only 9 points shy of 1,000 for his Iowa State career. May get that here tonight. He's also looking for that milestone. Here's Aaron Ross for Tech. A little bit short.
Well, these players are all in a good mood because they love playing for Fred Hoiberg, but Steve Prohm has just taken off where Fred left off. And that's just running the same stuff, kind of a freewheeling, open offense. He put in some of his system, but he also understands he's playing to his players' strengths.
Won 4 straight Ohio Valley Conference titles at Murray State. I'm going to be pleased with that shot. Misses everything. The crowd here in Lubbock, let them hear it. And now George working on his shoe.
Well, both teams doing a pretty good job of getting up on the perimeter into the shooters. Iowa State getting into Todrick Gocher, and Texas Tech making Matt Thomas really work on the three-point line.
Another game in the Big 12 tonight. Number 21 Baylor at Kansas State. Baylor has slipped recently with a couple losses in a row. There's Smith. And Texas Tech has gone cold. Here's Nader now. Niang backing in. Throws it up with the right hand. Nothing for George Niang yet. He was a slow starter at Oklahoma State on Saturday, but had a terrific second half. Finished with 18.
Well, that was a good move by Texas Tech not to trap George Niang. He's such a efficient passer down on the low box. Just play him one-on-one, wall up in the lane.
There's Devontae Williams, the leading scorer for Texas Tech. 3rd game coming off the bench. Tubby's trying to light a spark under him. He missed that shot. Nader spinning in the lane. Pretty left hand and one.
Well, at times you forget about Abdul Nader with Monte Morris, Matt Thomas, George Niang, Deontay Burton, and then when they have Jameel McKay. But Abdul Nader at times can be an excellent scorer. And this is how you get on the Wooden Watch. You're able to do a lot of different things, and the NBA doesn't work out for the big guy. One day he can retire to the Globetrotters. I guess. Another special trick of George Niang.
And an empty possession. It's going to go back to Iowa State.
Monte Morris just made a terrific play. The quick hands and the presence of mind to throw the ball right off the leg of the Texas Tech defender as he was going out of bounds. He just as cool as you want out there, and just amazing some of the numbers when you look at it. You know, career 5-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. And he's played 5 career games against so-called Press Virginia. 39 assists, 2 turnovers.
Oh, it's amazing. You were talking about his mama's purse. His mom dealing with the water situation in Flint, Michigan, his hometown. He's been concerned about her. And having a great year, and that is a beautiful cut and a pretty feed from Niang. Morris with his first 2.
Well, that's why you have to be careful of sending a second defender at Niang, but that time it was just they turned their heads, and a good recognition by Morris to cut to the basket, the old school, give and go.
Lead is 6 for Iowa State, their biggest lead. They're on a 7-0 run. Stepping into a 3 there, Justin Gray. At that time. Fresh shot clock, Williams. Nice pass, and Zach Smith gets the dunk and the foul.
Well, George Niang does so many things, and both teams starting to warm up a little bit here. Down in the box, Zach Smith just got to get up a little tighter and cut off that angle so he can't have that open lane with a pass to the rim.
There's Zach Smith. Scored 19 at Arkansas a couple of weeks ago. Had 18 against West Virginia. Very capable scorer. And gets the 3-point play.
That was a nice play by Devontae Williams. The drive, the hard drive down on the baseline and finding Smith cutting to the rim.
14-11 Iowa State. Currently tied for 5th in the Big 12. Game and a half behind first place Kansas, Oklahoma, and West Virginia. Nader to Niang. The passing has been excellent for Iowa State here in the early going.
On point. Everyone talks about Monte Morris and George Niang, but Abdul Nader lighting it up early with his own scoring, but now playing a little point forward at the top.
C.J. Williamson into the game now for Texas Tech. True freshman getting more playing time lately. There's Smith. Long 2 off the iron. Their offensive rebound for Texas Tech. Ross, turnaround right hand off the window. He went from being a glue guy to double figures in 7 of his last 8. He has really played well lately.
Tubby Smith just needs him to play a little bit better defense. Both teams looking to play a little feisty.
Foul on Devontae Williams of Tech. 10:53 to go in the half. 3-point game here in Lubbock. This weekend, a couple of former number 1s going at it for the second time. We only hope it's half as good as it was last time.
Well, Kansas is trending upward, and Oklahoma obviously just leaning on Buddy Hield to bail them out even when they don't have their A game. But listen, I like Oklahoma a lot. I think that they have a chance to go undefeated at home as well if they win this game, and that could maybe be the ticket to take down Kansas in their crown.
Won 11 straight regular season conference titles. Playing better right now, that's for sure. What a crazy year in college basketball. Villanova, the 6th different number 1 team this season. Iowa State leading by 3 here in Lubbock. Niang from the top of the key for 3. Doesn't get it to go, and Ross plucks the rebound for the Raiders.
Out of that timeout, Tubby Smith going to a 2-3 zone. You have to change up defenses against Iowa State to keep them off balance.
Line drive jumper for Williamson, no good. Now Iowa State coming back.
Tubby Smith recognized it. Iowa State was in a pretty good offensive rhythm.
Long three for Thomas. He's had at least 3 threes in 6 straight games. Doesn't have one yet, but he has really been playing well. Some people arguing he's maybe the most improved player in the Big 12 this year. There's Evans. His 3 doesn't go. Texas Tech, not a great three-point shooting team.
No, they can't settle. Evans has got to make sure he runs the team, tries to keep driving the ball to the rim.
Boy, Nader having a terrific first half. He's got 9.
That's empty possession for Texas Tech. And they have to remember their game plan. There's no Jameel McKay, so keep driving the ball to the rim. And now Iowa State in the zone.
Davonte Williams dribbles out of trouble. Nice pass from Williams to Temple.
Davonte Williams lost his starting job, and Tubby Smith not happy with his off-the-ball defense, but doing a very good job tonight driving and kicking.
We were talking about Buddy Hield. He met with Buddy Hield a couple of weeks ago prior to their game, asked for some advice. Now back in transition. Great move by Keenan Evans.
And we saw Keenan Evans shoot that 3, but that's his game. Drive it to the rim. He's not a good perimeter shooter. They're going to lay off him, but he's got to find that angle to the rim. That's what he did over the weekend against Texas.
And he got to the line 10 times, hit 7 free throws in that game. That was a great aspect of his game that day as Niang scores again.
Well, that's not fair right there. That's impossible to defend against that zone. That flash into the middle of that ball fake.
Williams hits a 3.
Davonte Williams showing great energy and smart decision-making tonight coming in off the bench.
Actually, a long 2 for Davonte Williams, so the Red Raiders pull within 1. Niang on the baseline, kicks out of it. Here's Thomas left alone. Can't give him too much room.
You can't give the ball to Georges Niang because he will either find something for himself or the open man.
So Thomas with 5. He had a career-high 22 against Tech last month. And the Cyclones win in Ames. He was 6 of 10 from 3 in that game. He's got his first triple in this one. Temple spinning, had it stripped, tries to track it down, and can't do it. The under 8-minute timeout here in Lubbock. Iowa State leading by 4. Well, with Jameel McKay out, Georges Niang moving to the center spot. And that's not a problem for him because he can do great stuff like this.
Well, he's got great vision, the ability to find the gaps, not only with the ball, but without the basketball. And when he does catch it like that on the short baseline or the mid-post area, you have to seal him up if you're going to double team. You have to get into his vision, get into his body, because he's so adept and quick at making a quick decision and a good, strong move to the rim, whether he's distributing or trying to score. And by the way, you don't have to play at the speed of light to be a successful big-time player, and that's what Niang does. He just plays within himself. He kind of outsmarts you with his smarts and his ability to see the floor from in a lot of different ways with the ball and without the ball.
32 straight games in double figures for Niang. He's got 4 points, 4 assists already here tonight. He's closing in on 2,000 career points in his time with the Cyclones. The lead is 4 for Iowa State. If Baylor wins at Kansas State tonight and Iowa State wins here in Lubbock, 6 of the 10 teams in the Big 12 will either be in first place or a game out. This league is something, I'm telling you.
They're just beating each other up, and Abdul Nader is beating up Texas Tech's defense. They have to seal up on him, get him, either deny him or when he catches it, get up into his chest.
Justin Gray answers back. That's his 3rd 3 tonight, but ahead of the pack. Simeon Carter, the true freshman, slams it down.
Texas Tech's just going to be shaking their head. They do a great job on the offensive end and then just don't run back.
Ashton going up for the rebound. Jordan Ashton, a walk-on, getting increased playing time. Again, it's a small rotation for Steve Prohm. He's down some men. He doesn't play a lot anyway, but he's missing 2 seniors he thought he'd have. McKay, of course, and Naz Long out since December after hip surgery.
Jordan Ashton did a good job in the Oklahoma State game. Just solid. Doesn't try to do anything. Just makes a simple pass. Plays solid defense.
Found Nader there. Gets the rebound. He'll line up a three. Got it. Jordan Ashton. Started Mount Pleasant High School in Iowa. Now making a name for himself.
When you play at Iowa State, I guess you just put the uniform on. You feel like you can make shots and make plays. That's Jordan Ashton's first three on the season.
Lead is 8, biggest of the game for Iowa State. Now he can't leave Devontae Williams.
Excuse me, that's his 5th on the season, but he's only played 30. He played 21 minutes against Oklahoma State, but just doesn't look to do anything. But he's made some good plays already.
Next week, Big Monday. Wolfpack taking on number 7 Virginia at 7 Eastern. And into the Big 12 at 9 for Oklahoma State, number 6 Kansas. All part of Rivalry Week presented by Wendy's. Talked about how Kansas got a matter of revenge last night against West Virginia. We'll move into that 3-way tie atop the Big 12. And Williams is fouled. That is on Ashton, his first.
As good a game as that one was in the regular season.
Oklahoma can win that. They're going to have the inside track to the Big 12 regular season title. And if Kansas wins it, they will.
Devontae Williams ate his energy bar before he came tonight. He is playing with a lot of fire.
Simeon Carter again, didn't get the roll that time. The product of West Charlotte High School. Texas Tech down just 3. Williams got it. And we're tied.
Boy, constant movement. Devontae Williams with the ball and without the ball. Very tough to defend when he's playing with this type of energy. Coming off that ball screen, Iowa State not showing out high enough.
And foul on Justin Gray, but it's an 8-0 run. Last minute and a half here for Texas Tech.
Well, when Texas Tech has played well, it's been Todrick Dozier and Devontae Williams really providing a lot of leadership, energy, and toughness at that senior guard spot. And Tubby just looking at him and say, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I need from my seniors.
551 career wins for Tubby Smith. Slowly trying to turn things around here in Lubbock. Not completely out of that NCAA tournament picture yet. A lot of people think that as many as 7 teams from this league, Tim, will get into the NCAA tournament. Texas Tech could be the 7th. Their RPI is good. Strength of schedule pretty good.
Well, the thing is, you have the opportunity, and the league is so highly regarded, and rightfully so, at the top, and 1 through 5, 1 through 6, that you scratch out some wins down the stretch against some of the top clubs, you're going to be right in the conversation.
They beat Oklahoma State here in overtime a week ago tonight. On a last-second shot by Devontae Williams in overtime. Morris. The Cyclones trying to get the lead back. Alice Cook, beautiful pass, and George Niang scores.
Well, Alice Cook really hasn't done much of anything for Iowa State all season long, but again, making a good decision to the cutting Niang.
Cook, the Oregon State transfer. Pretty capable outside shooter when he gets an opportunity to do it. Like you said, he just hasn't had many chances. And there's a foul on Cook. 3:15 to go, stopping the action.
Well, Alice Cook making a smart decision, but the best decision you can always make when you're an Iowa State player is look for this guy. He's usually open.
Three players from the Big 12 that are on the list. Buddy Hield, maybe the favorite for the award right now. George Niang and Perry Ellis. I say maybe. That's ridiculous. He probably is the favorite.
These guys are all in the Adrian Branch category of elite players, and
no doubt.
But the elite of the elite, in most people's opinion, is Buddy Hield. I mean, I think he's distanced himself from the group, but as my boosters used to tell me, it's how you finish, coach. And so it's how you finish as a player and as a team as well. And I think a lot of it will have to do in the last month, who can put his team on his back. And I would never count out Georges Niang. I mean, he is just so special and does a lot of different things to help his team win. There's a lot of things that don't show up in the stat sheet.
At 6 points, 4 assists here tonight. Second leading scorer in the Big 12 at 19 per game. That's 7 points behind Buddy Hield per game. And a foul on Hallis Cook, and he picks up 2. Limited action so far.
Excuse me, Clay. And clearly, Buddy Hield is superb, and we think that he's going to, at this point, he should be the winner. But we get way too caught up into points per game. And I think you combine his points per game, what he does for Oklahoma, and how they've had, what a great season they've had. But when you look at a Georges Niang, I mean, as valuable, as great, and just the numbers aren't there scoring-wise. And hey, listen, I would put Monte Morris in that discussion as well. I mean, you want 5-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. That is a special basketball player.
You look at Georges Niang, McKay goes out, and you slide Niang into the post, and he can also play point for you. That's how versatile a guy like Niang is. There is Morris, goes high out the window around the D, didn't get the shot to go. Ross plays it ahead to Evans. Williams has scored the last 8 for Tech. He gives it back to the point guard, Keenan Evans. Here's Williams, he's got the hot hand. Smith got free and he was pushed. He'll go to the line. With 2:14 to go here in the first half. Saturday in Norman, we remind you again about the big rematch, number 6 Kansas, number 3 Oklahoma. It's 2:30 Eastern on ESPN. Jayhawks won the first one in 3 overtimes. Dan Shulman, Jay Billis on the call from the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. Smith, I guess that went badly. He is a 66% foul shooter.
Well, Texas Tech has had their most success offensively when they've changed sides of the floor and really spaced it, and then were able to dribble drive into the gaps. And without the presence of McKay, they've had, Iowa State has had issues on their rotations of protecting the rim against Smith and even Temple and the dribble penetrators getting all the way to the rim.
Georges Niang with 2 personals. Iowa State doesn't take a lot of fouls. You mentioned it earlier. They take the fewest in the country, in fact, under 15 per game, but Niang does have 2. They can't afford to get in foul trouble here tonight. Deontay Burton also has 2. And again, there's no Jameel McKay tonight, second game of the team suspension.
Well, Georges Niang got in foul trouble in the game against Texas Tech in Ames, and he had some problems guarding Zach Smith. Just a mobile athlete who's doing that, gets rebounds out of his area.
Going to get a 3rd crack at it.
And we're fortunate there. Evans, good hustle, but not a good decision to take that quick 3 after the effort on the offensive rebound by Zach Smith.
It's a 15-11 rebounding edge for Tech right now. They're down 1. Under a minute and a half to go. And Evans is fouled by Jordan Ashton. That's his 2nd.
Well, that's what Evans does. That he has to keep going to his strength. There's a reason he's open. People are not going to guard him on the perimeter. He's an inconsistent shooter. He's an improved player because he's stronger. He's more mature. He's got some experience now in his sophomore year, but he still has to understand who he is and running the team and trying to get to the rim.
You see the numbers on the sophomore from Richardson, Texas. 76% shooter at the line. Tech good as a team at the foul stripe, 75%. A tie game. This Texas Tech team, as we've said throughout the year, Tim, is improved over last year for Tubby Smith. However, they're under 500 here at home in Big 12 play at 2 and 3. Kansas, Baylor, West Virginia. They've won here in Lubbock, but Iowa State knew they were going to be into a fight.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Texas Tech has now kind of settled in playing without Lawrence Odiasi, and obviously they really miss him, but they've kind of tweaked their offense, tweaked their roles. They're understanding who they are a little bit better, but they've played everybody very tough. Even, Tubby was lamenting today even about their loss to West Virginia.
Niang with the stick back off the block by Smith. He's stuck with it, gives Iowa State the lead back, and we get a timeout here with 1:08 to go in the first half.
Georges Niang just staying with the play. And again, if you put a highlight tape of where he gets things done, here's another way. They run a little post up, they overextend, and Ross not playing good defense, but not staying with the play. Texas Tech guards got to slide down and help on the rebounding.
Tim, Devontae Williams, the senior for Texas Tech, has had trouble with consistency really ever since he got to Lubbock. He's playing well here in the first half.
Well, the improved play of their sophomores has been the reason that Texas Tech has been successful this year, more successful than in the past, but it's about the seniors, and it starts with Devontae Williams and Todrick Gocher. They've got to be consistent. When they are 12, 14 points a night, which they have been pretty much in a lot of games, but there's certain nights where they don't show up. That's when Texas Tech struggles. Tonight, Williams has been very good.
There he is again. Splits the defense and lays it in.
That was excellent offense by Texas Tech. They went into their flex series, and Williams just motion, running screens, running off screens, reading screens. Nice curl to the rim.
Wow, Hallis Cook steps into a three and gets it to go. And Iowa State goes back in front by 2. 3-second difference between game clock and shot clock.
Hallis Cook and Simeon Carter giving Steve Prohm some quality minutes off the bench with that short bench.
Now we get a timeout called here by Texas Tech with 16.5 to go.
It's more difficult to win at home at times because of all the experience, because these teams have all been through the wars over the 3 or 4 years. It's just such a veteran conference. But Steve Prohm still talking today about his loss to West Virginia when they were up 5 late.
Williams again. He's got 14 points. The game is tied at the buzzer. Doesn't go for Morris. And Texas Tech, which last beat a ranked team last January, and of course it was number 9 Iowa State, has the number 14 team in the country in a tie game at the half. Now he just ran to the locker room, though, for Texas Tech, and we're not sure exactly why. Hopefully that's nothing significant for the Red Raiders. And Burton scores. He got into early foul trouble in this game for Iowa State. Spent a lot of that first half on the bench. It's on Temple, his first.
Both teams played a very good first half. When you look at the shooting percentages, 64% Iowa State, Texas Tech up near 50. Not a lot of turnovers, not a lot of fouls. Rebounds were pretty even. And Texas Tech just has to stay with their game plan offensively, which is space the floor, reverse it, get some movement with the ball, without the ball, and then attack the middle of the floor. Try to get Niang in foul trouble.
The good news for Texas Tech is Devontae Williams is back on the bench. Gray, who had a great first half, 3 threes in the first 20 minutes, hits that long 2. He's in double figures now with 11.
Yeah, that's excellent offense. Changing sides of the floor with good ball movement and excellent spacing.
Iowa State trying to win its 4th straight Big 12 road game for the first time in 15 years. It's going to stay with Iowa State. Burton picks himself up off the deck.
Texas Tech just spaces the floor. They take their time. They change sides of the floor. They've got some movement on the inside and on the outside. And just a little cross screen at the foul line.
And Burton doing the dirty work inside here early on in the second half. He really has stepped up his game. 11 points, 4 steals in Oklahoma State on Saturday. Five here in the second half, is 8 in the game. Gocher. Temple gets the rebound. Doesn't get it to go. Smith will try and stick it back, and he has it stripped. Stay with the Red Raiders.
Good effort by Temple. He gets it that close to the rim. He's just got to jam it home.
There's Matthew Temple heading out. was recruited from the campus rec league, won a couple of fraternity titles, but really no significant basketball success until Tubby Smith said, yeah, you can play for me.
You got to go scout the fraternity finals sometimes, looking, especially if you're 6'11". A shot out there. Temple's made the most of it.
Coacher's having an off night. Came out of a slump a week ago with 18 against Oklahoma State. Points here so far. Nader rolling to the hoop, scores with the left hand. He's got 13 in this one.
Well, that's good offense by Iowa State, and that's what they do. They kind of lull you to sleep and with good movement and then cuts off that high post.
Gotcher 6 of 10 from 3 the last 2 games. Ross. That's his first 3.
And that's not recognition of the scouting report. Deontay Burton, you've got to get up into Aaron Ross's grill on the catch.
Wide open is Nader. Bang, hits it. Abdul Nader, his second 3.
Well, when you put it down Iowa State's throat, you better run back and be ready to challenge because they're coming right back at you.
Back up to a 5-point lead. Their biggest lead in the first half was 8. Trying to create some spaces. Keenan Evans doesn't get to the hoop. You were talking about him getting to the rim. That's his best asset. Made it work there, though, on the baseline.
A little runner. That's a developing shot for Evans. He couldn't make that a year ago because he wasn't strong enough to finish it against good defense. But both teams really in a free-flowing offensive mindset.
Iowa State have their hands full here tonight on the road. Morris found a seam. Doesn't get it to go, but there's Niang right on the spot.
Oh, and a little chuckle by George Niang. He said, thanks for the opportunity. Morris broke down the defense. The backside coverage wasn't there on the rebound.
And he gets the steal, too. Ahead for Morris. Morris, great patience. And went right around Smith.
Patience and poise and the ability to say, I'm not missing 2 of these in a row.
George Niang, his 33rd straight game of double-figure scoring. Nader almost had a steal there again. Lead up to 7 now for Iowa State. Under 16 to go here in the half. Gray with 5 to shoot. That'll be a 2, and he's fouled by Nader. And we got a timeout on the floor. Iowa State has come out strong here in the second half.
We're not moving outside the box in any discipline. We're going to, if it costs us a game or 2 in the long haul, we'll benefit from it. But in the short term, they've been okay.
You know, and Steve Prohm alluded to the fact that maybe being on the road during this suspension issue has been a good thing. Less distraction sometimes on the road.
Absolutely, you become tight. You're tight as a group. And, you know, when you see your first-year coach step up and suspend a big-time key player, it's automatic respect for him and what he's trying to accomplish.
Now we get a clock issue, I believe. And as Jeff Hartness is over there at the scorer's table.
Because even though Steve Prohm has immediate respect from the Iowa State people and the players and people around the program from what he's done at Murray State, and everyone said he was the perfect hire, you're still on trial when you're replacing Fred Hoiberg.
Fix the shot clock. Shot clock never got underway. Now we're back to action. 6-point lead for Iowa State, ranked number 14 in the country. Joe Lunardi right now has Iowa State as a 4 seed or higher. That would probably take a hit in the loss here at Lubbock tonight. Monte Morris for 3.
Well, again, George Niang making that play. I thought he got fouled on the drive, but as he was falling out of bounds, again, made a special play, finding the open man in the corner, Morris.
He's limping, but appears he's going to stay in the game and walk it off.
You see Smith gets right into his body and fouls him clearly, and the official not looking at the play, but Morris made the most out of it.
10 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists for Niang. And how about Burton with the quick moves on the steal? And he takes it right to the rack. It's blocked out of bounds. Deonte Burton had 4 steals at Oklahoma State. He was nimble there to pick up that one.
Well, Texas Tech's got a little bit away from their game plan. They've got Devontae Williams back in now to try to get them going, get them going to the rim, but just kind of passing the ball around the perimeter, and Iowa State getting up in the passing lanes.
Burton has been a nice addition. Like McKay, a Marquette transfer, making a second straight start. Evans going to be called for that foul. That's his first.
And that's what Georges Niang does. He gets you off balance. He's so good moving without the ball, reading screens. He just takes it. A little push off there. I'm not sure that was that was the proper call.
Niang got away with one there.
Knocked Evans down with a forearm.
Thomas been in the starting lineup since Naz Long went out in mid-December, but now a turnover by Burton gives it back to Texas Tech with 14:38 to go.
Well, Texas Tech really has to run their offense now because Iowa State is feeling confident not on the offensive end of the floor, but defensively they've kind of picked up their pace and their energy and focus.
Justin Gray flashed there. They didn't find him, but there's Ross who finds an opening for a shot and hits.
For the first time in a while, they penetrated the defense with a pass and good cuts off that down screen.
Nader hops into the lane, has it taken away. Nice move by Gocher to free himself. Look out below. Smith with the dunk.
Well, that's the way to energize your team, with a good steal and an unselfish play for the dunk.
And Tech is back within 5. Morris with 5 to shoot. Niang for 3. It's going to stay with Iowa State.
Now, Devontae Williams and Todrick Gocher, they are the keys to Texas Tech and how far they go this season. And when they play with energy and toughness, Texas Tech is very tough.
Gocher could have been in free flight. Shows his unselfishness. Doesn't have any points tonight. Would have been 2 easy ones, but he gave it up to Smith to get the crowd into it.
Absolutely. Gocher's one of those guys, though, that can be quiet for a while, then get it going. Here comes Gray.
Justin Gray, 5 in the second half. He's having a nice night. Oh, Niang slicing in. Morris finds it, as he has so many times throughout their working relationship. Timeout, Iowa State. The lead goes back to 5 for the Clones.
Well, you think you're back in the game, and you are, but you better stay focused on those two, Morris and Niang.
Iowa top seed as well right now, a team that Iowa State beat earlier in the year.
Well, who do you put on Buddy Hield? Do you put Van Selden on him for a little bit more size? Do you get
You're going to just leave it to 1?
You can't. I mean, and the other thing is that they are not just Buddy Hield, as we all know, and that's the thing. That's what makes him so tough.
Get out of there, says Deonte Burton. Puts it right into the Tech bench. So we thought that Iowa State would be missing a rim protector tonight, would be missing some rebounding with McKay, and they are, but they've done a pretty good job working around that omission.
They have, and it's been really about their offense. Their offense has been very highly efficient. They're running their offense through Georges Niang. He's got 6 assists right now. And Texas Tech better be aware Matt Thomas could heat up at any moment.
3 to shoot. Doesn't go for Gray. And Niang clears the rebound. He's got 6 of those, a dozen points, also has 6 assists. Ashton back into the game for the Cyclones. Hands off for Burton. Adjusts. And scores. He gathered it up at his ankles and scores to make it 58-51 Iowa State.
Well, Aaron Ross left him though. There was no reason on the dribble drive at the top by Ashton to leave Burton wide open. Just let him try to finish at the rim. Don't leave Burton wide open.
Burton's got 10 now. Aaron Ross, 7 here in the second half, 9 in the game.
That's what Ross does. Give it and take it. That's why he's been inconsistent as a player for Tubby Smith, because he's just not a good defender, but he can get some points for it.
This offense has really gotten good here in the last 3 weeks for Texas Tech. Niang, now the fans say he threw an elbow again, but no call. Niang scores.
Mike Stewart was right there. I'm not sure if that was a flop, but it might have been. Give the All-American a break.
There's a holding call against Iowa State. That's on George, his third, so the third on the star player for the Cyclones with 11:03 to go. George Niang is going to take a break here for Iowa State with 11:03 to go. He just picked up his third foul. He's having a great night again for the Cyclones. Next week, Big Monday. Good stuff for you. The Wolfpack taking on number 7 Virginia in the ACC. And we head to the Big 12. Oklahoma State number 6 Kansas. All part of Rivalry Week presented by Wendy's. Well, Baylor winning at Kansas State tonight. Despite not having Rico Gathers tonight, the big man out with an illness. So Baylor gets the win. Here are the updated standings. You can see that 3-way tie at the top. Oklahoma, Kansas, West Virginia. If Iowa State can hang on and win here, Tim, tonight, 6 of the 10 teams in this league will either be in first place or a game out. And we are late into the year for 6 of the 10 teams to be in the race.
It just obviously shows to the strength of this league, which many think is the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
There's so many teams that have that ability to make a long run in March.
Gocher, who's been shooting it really well coming into this game, misses that one. Still no points tonight.
That's frustrated for Tiger Gocher because he was wide. That's his shot right from that wing 3-point spot. Now Texas Tech has to take advantage of George Niang being on the bench.
Williams driving. Nader. Is it a clean block? No. It's going to be a foul against Abdul Nader. His third, so now Nader and Niang with 3.
This is what Texas Tech game plan has been all night, especially with Devontae Williams in the game. And looked like a clean block to me.
Williams, a terrific foul shooter, 81%. That's his first point here in the second half. He had 14 in the first 20 minutes. Gets them both. And Texas Tech keeping it close, 60-55 here with 10.5 to go.
This is a good move by Tubby Smith. Put some pressure on Iowa State. See how they react with George Niang on the bench.
Morris kicks it out. Ashton trying to dump it inside to Burton. It's kicked by Williams. Side out here for the Cyclones, 15 to shoot.
Not only pressure-wise, but in the lane and on the glass, Texas Tech has to take advantage. I mean, Iowa State is very small right now out on the floor.
Morris, a good feed for Burton, and he adjusts, goes to the other side of the rim, and scores.
Again, Texas Tech over-helping on the dribble drive penetration by Monte Morris.
Thomas, it's a strong rebound for the shooter. Morris drops it to the trailer, Nader, but he's blocked by Gray. And they're going to get a foul here on Texas Tech Hey, Justin Gray thought he had a clean block, but he's called for his third foul.
Well, one thing you know with Georges Niang on the bench, this man right here is going to make all the playmaker plays. He's going to make the right decisions. And here, again, Aaron Ross over-helping, just stepping way up to Morris, leaving his man wide open and no rotation on the backside.
Swings out for Nader. He's got another one.
Excuse me, Clay. Just because a penetrator drives into the lane doesn't give you a license just to leave your man and run at the dribbler freely and kind of wildly. And Monte Morris was kind of guarded. He had a little bit of an angle, but you don't leave your man until he gets all the way to the rim, because you're in no man's land when you just leave your man like that. And then Iowa State's so spread out on the backside that it's hard for Texas Tech to rotate down and recover.
But that's what Morris does to you. He gets in your head.
And he never, ever, rarely makes a mistake.
Smith skips it out for Williams. And he got it, and one. Keenan Evans trying to complete a three-point play as Texas Tech is keeping this interesting here in Lubbock.
Well, good recognition by Texas Tech. Iowa State was in the zone. They had them spread out, and on ball reversal, Evans just split the two guards at the top and made that little runner in the middle of the lane.
Back to a 5-point difference. Thomas. Down the perimeter, here's Nader hopping in the lane. Got it to go. Kind of a thud off the back iron, and it falls down for Abdul Nader.
He's got such a soft touch and that ability to make plays in the middle of the floor.
Nader with 19 in this game. What a lob from Morris to Burton. That is the 6th assist tonight for Monte Morris.
We talk about the great point guards in the country, and rarely is Monte Morris in the discussion for the top 2 or 3, but if I had a draft today, I'd pick that man to run my club.
30-second timeout, Texas Tech.
Look at this. This is just on point. Absolutely knows where he wants to put the ball and just delivers it perfectly to the rim.
7 points, 6 assists for Morris. And Burton playing well, too, for Iowa State. He's got 14 points. Steve Prohm was saying, you know, with McKay out, the obvious choice to pick up the minutes is Burton. But I've really been looking for an excuse to give him more playing time anyway, because when he's out there, he's very productive.
He is, and he plays a lot bigger than his size. He's only 6'4", but he's got a lot of strength, and he can do different things. He can play on that baseline. He can make shots from the outside, and just when you start focusing on Abdul Nader, as a guy that's hurting you, Burton finishes in the lane.
Ross for 3. Now Aaron Ross, his second 3. Texas Tech hanging around as we go under 8.5 to play. Morris attacks. He's bumped, throws it up, doesn't get the shot, but he'll be on the line as Ross commits his second foul.
This is, again, what Monte Morris does. After a made three-pointer, they just rush the ball up the court, and Texas Tech does not do a good job of picking him up early and forcing him to the sideline. He just creates getting into the middle of the floor.
Morris to shoot, too. If he makes them both, he'll hit 1,000 points for his Iowa State career. That's what I do to people. See that? Big jinx.
You can jinx him all you want. One thing you can't jinx him on is to turn it over. He won't turn it over.
He hasn't done that yet tonight.
No.
He hasn't turned it over in the month of February.
Nor does he come out of the game.
Yeah, he played all 40 for the 5th time Saturday.
Let me just tell you, he's not coming out tonight
I don't
either.
think so. Lead is 7 for the Cyclones, just over 8 to go. Trying to get their 4th straight Big 12 road win. They haven't done that in 15 years, win 4 straight conference games on the road.
Iowa State was in the zone in the last possession, didn't play it well, but now back to the man.
Now Keenan Evans, very good-looking sophomore. He is just getting better as the year goes on, and Texas Tech back within 4.
Monte Morris looked to the bench and said, wait a minute, coach, you said he couldn't shoot. He's knocking him down tonight.
He's in double figures. Iowa State has made their last 6 field goal attempts. Burton trying to keep the streak alive, and he does.
Well, that's why Burton is so good. Right from that high post area, just a little crossover and just goes to his left. You get him, he gets you leaning one direction, finds an angle back the other way.
And Williams attacks, draws the contact. Got a whistle and a timeout with 7:18 to go here in Lubbock. It's been an entertaining game so far. The lead for the Clones is 6, but Tech playing well. All right, Anish, thank you very much. Clay Mathick, Tim Welsh back here in Lubbock. How about Baylor? No Rico gathers. They still out-rebound Kansas State by a dozen and win it by 10. And Monte Morris, you talked about him at the top of the broadcast. He hasn't disappointed tonight.
Well, he does it in so many ways. In the half court, he'll get you off balance. If you turn your head on the backside, he'll find that thread the needle type pass. And then in transition, you must get back on defense because he will create for himself, but he always has his head up and has that ability to see the court. What about Monte Morris is that you must make him finish. And he will finish, but don't help too early, because he will find that open man, and Iowa State is very in tune to what he does. So when they start to slide, he starts to dribble penetrate into the gaps, his teammates will slide into that open area.
Niang back into the game for Steve Prohm. He's got 3 fouls. Oh, there's a whistle. Is that against George? No. It's on Jordan Ashton, but that is number 4 on him.
Texas Tech looked like they were a little tight in their flex offense, but the officials starting to tighten up some of the calls.
Nader also playing with 3 for the Cyclones. Ross.
The one thing about Texas Tech, they're running their flex offense. Get some open jumpers, but with George Niang in a little bit of foul trouble, they need to space it and drive it to the rim. See if there's any resistance by Niang.
Morris around the pick from Niang, lobs it up, gets it to fall. And Monte Morris is over 1,000 points for his Iowa State career, the 32nd man to do it in team history.
It keeps you off balance. Keenan Evans did a pretty good job, but then he got him leaning to the wing, and he just found that angle into the lane.
Junior from Flint, Michigan. 72-64, lead back to 8 for Iowa State. Smith has it stripped. They stay with Texas Tech with 6:07 to go and 9 on the shot clock.
That was the right idea. They went right at Niang down in the box, and Smith made a pretty good move, but Niang is so smart, he reached in and stripped him.
Hurry up. They'll get it off. 5-second call, and Iowa State will have it back. Just make Tubby shake his head. We haven't seen a lot of turnovers tonight, but that is number 7 on Texas Tech.
Well, that was 5, and Patrick Gocher, as a senior, you got to recognize you got to get the ball inbounds somehow.
Especially just feet away from your own bench where people are helping you out. Nader swatted out of there by Smith. Leader in block shots for Texas Tech. Evans off balance, got it to go.
What a great play by Devontae Williams after Smith's block.
Burton throws it up wildly. And now here comes Texas Tech. Down by 6. Ross wide open.
Just when you think Texas Tech may go down and dead in the water, Smith makes a good play. And here, Devontae Williams, great job, head up, finding the point guard, running the lane.
Williams has played inspired ball here tonight. Maybe Tubby's finally starting to get through to his senior.
He's played excellent. A lot of energy, a lot of focus on both ends of the floor. He's created offensively.
He's leading Texas Tech with 16, one of 4 in double figures tonight for the Red Raiders. So has 4 assists. Ross was trying to post up there around Burton. Finally gets free. Got it and one. Great effort by Aaron Ross.
Now Texas Tech went into their power game, and Aaron Ross did a good job. They go into a little high-low look. He did a good job sealing off. Niang backed away, and so did Burton, but on the second effort, Ross feeling it.
And that's a 4th on Abdul Nader. Lead just 3 for Iowa State with 5 and change to play.
Iowa State's going to see if they can get Matt Thomas going. And give Texas Tech credit. They have not left Matt Thomas at all. They've stuck strong to him. But then again, there's Monte Morris.
Monte Morris. It's 2 more. 74-69 Iowa State. Just now with a dozen. Ross, a 3 again. How about that? Home court bounce.
Texas Tech's got their offensive mojo cooking, but they have not found an answer how to stop Monte Morris.
Niang with the shot fake. Takes it in and he's fouled. Crowd wanted to travel, didn't get it.
Tech doing a real good job of mixing up their game on the offensive end of the floor. They went to their power game for a few possessions, and then Evans, a little bit of a dribble drive, and get sucked in the middle of this defense. And Ross, that's what he does. He'll post you up, but also he can step back out.
Ross has 3 of the team's 9 3-pointers tonight. Great work by Burton to shake free underneath.
That's just awful defense by Texas Tech. Just a simple up screen from the box to the elbow, and Ross just got buried on the back screen. No communication or switch by Texas Tech.
You mentioned it's a trade-off. Ross's offense is terrific, but his defense at times really needs some improvement.
He's got to understand. He's got to step away from Burton a little and fight through that screen or get a little help.
Didn't get it with the right hand that time. Comes back out to Williams. Fresh shot clock for the Red Raiders with 3:40 to go. Down 4. Crowd hoping they can storm the floor as they did last January when they upset then number 9 Iowa State. And a foul. That goes against Aaron Ross, his 3rd. Timeout on the floor, 3:30 to go. 4-point game in Lubbock.
Offensively, they only average 68 points a game in conference. 72 already. The problem has been on the defensive end of the floor. This Monte Morris has just had his way with whether it's in transition or in the half court.
Iowa State, we're just thinking, however we get the win here tonight without Jameel McKay, I don't care how it's done, a terrific victory if they can get out of here with a W.
Good job by Tubby Smith mixing it up again. They showed man early, and then on the first pass to the wing, they went zone.
Ashton for 3.
It's a win for Texas Tech, making Ashton the offensive go-to guy.
He had that 3 in the first half, nothing since. Oh, Gray slipped, and it's an unforced turnover. Texas Tech, an unfortunate slip there by a sophomore from Tampa, Justin Gray.
That's just a bad decision, though, by Todrick Gotcher. You have to read the defense. You just can't look at your offensive teammate. Justin Gray was not open, and even if he does catch the ball, he's 30 feet from the basket. Can't do anything with it. Just hold on to it. Make sure you make that exact sure pass. And blame that play on Gotcher.
Niang on the feed again from Morris. And it's 78-72 Cyclones.
He's just so smart, moving without the ball, finding that open vacuum, whether it's in the center, middle part of the zone, or behind the defense on the baseline.
8th assist tonight for Monte Morris. And now with 16 as we go under 2 minutes to play. Williams makes his move, throws it up, got it, and the foul on George Niang.
And Iowa State's in that zone offense. Texas Tech not paying attention to George Niang. You see him first possession, he just keeps moving, looking, finding that seam, and then of course Monte Morris finding him.
4 now on George Niang. Nader also with 4. Ashton has 4 for the Cyclones. Nobody with more than 3 for Texas Tech. 3-point play, 3-point game with under 2 to go.
Texas Tech is has a problem. They can't guard Monte Morris in man, and they can't defend George Niang in zone. Now they're going back to man.
Niang sets the pick. Five to shoot. The pass to Niang is at his knees. Coming back is Gray. He's fouled. And he'll go to the line. That's an intentional foul. That's 5 on Nader. I believe it's on Nader.
Few and far between it. You see this happen. Monte Morris leaves his feet without anywhere to go, and then on the rush to the rim, Nader does not make a play on the ball. That's a good call by the officials.
So Nader's night is over. Great night, though. 19 points on 8 of 11 from the field.
That was an excellent job defensively by Texas Tech. They came up and set the ball screen. Niang set a ball screen from Morris, and on the ball screen, Texas Tech switched, and Zach Smith got switched out on Monte Morris, and Morris drove into the lane, but Texas Tech did a good job of squeezing him, and here you see Nader, just not a smart play at all. With 1:25 to go and a 3-point lead, let him have the layup and get the ball back.
Rare turnover by Monte Morris. In fact, his first in 3 games leads to a breakout for Texas Tech. And the Red Raiders, as you talked about it, needing to pile up some wins to stay in that NCAA tournament picture tonight. An opportunity not only for a win, but for a quality win, and they have played well here tonight. Of course, Iowa State shorthanded without Jameel McKay, but this has been a great performance by Tubby Smith's group. Another foul shot for Gray, plus they'll have the basketball.
Not only will they have the basketball, but with Nader out of their game, he's their second big man. And Niang has 4 fouls, so the strategy is plain and simple for Tubby Smith in that little huddle he had during the free throw by Gray. Get the ball inside, whether it's a post-up or on ball reversal. Try to drive into the gap or see if Niang reacts, and then maybe a kick out to Ross for a 3.
Gray gets it into Ross. Niang watching him. Williams. Pass to Smith. And he's fouled. He'll be on the line. Third on Deonte Burton.
Devontae Williams made this play. He just saw Jordan Ashton squared up on him, and he said, no, thank you. You don't have it to guard me one-on-one. He got down and dirty and just got into the lane again, making a big, tough play, and Smith strong to the rim.
This is the Devontae Williams we saw, Tim, when he was at his best during the non-conference season and at some points early on during Big 12 play.
Absolutely, and just in a dreadful slump, lost his starting spot. That's about defending Monte Morris again in the half court. I liked what they did the last possession, switched out on a ball screen.
Tech can't tie it up at the line. 1-point lead for Iowa State. We go under a minute. And a holding call. It's on Williams. And Iowa State will shoot the 1-and-1. Kansas, Oklahoma, the rematch Saturday, 2:30 Eastern on ESPN. Last time they went to 3 overtimes. We'll see what happens this time around. It'll be in Norman. We'll be there. Game day and the game. Doesn't go for Niang. Chance to take the lead for the Red Raiders. Timeout, Tubby Smith and Texas Tech. As they have 1 remaining, Iowa State with 2 left. You talk to Tubby Smith, Tim, and he will say, we have had a lot of close losses this year. We've lost to Baylor, West Virginia. We've lost to Arkansas on the road. Games that we certainly were in, could have won. All off the bench.
Yeah, Texas Tech very confident the last 3 or 4 minutes offensively, doing a good job of just mixing up their offense with balance and also unselfish play.
Keenan Evans has it for Texas Tech. Gives it to Williams. 40 seconds to play. 10 on the shot clock as Gray backs out. It's going to be Williams dishing it across, and that's Burton picking up the foul as he reached in on Zach Smith. And that's 4 on Burton.
You cannot underscore what Devontae Williams has done for Tubby Smith on the offensive end tonight. Just the understanding, the recognition of the shot clock winding down, and not, I thought maybe he might pull the trigger and take a kind of a contested 4th shot, but he just made a good play with his left hand, drew the defense, and kicked it to Smith.
Smith, another miss at the line. He has 3 of 6 now tonight. Texas Tech, 12 of 18 at the stripe. We're tied. A little under 3-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. What does Iowa State do here, Tim?
Well, you got to hold on a little bit. You obviously, there's a little bit of a differential. Steve Prohm's going to call timeout and make sure they understand what he wants. And they're going to go late in the shot clock, very late. And what they like to do in this situation is either A, misdirection, and they'll isolate Niang on one side of the floor and let him go one-on-one. And if you can't guard him one-on-one, he'll make a play. And if you send a secondary defender or help, he'll find the open man.
George Niang, Iowa State tied with Texas Tech here at 78 with 24 seconds left. Again, no Jameel McKay tonight. Iowa State, though, with 4 guys in double figures in scoring. Done a pretty good job on the boards. They've done a great job scoring in the paint here tonight.
Well, they have, and you know, we talk about what's Iowa State going to do. I think it's even more importantly, what's Texas Tech going to do? If I'm Texas Tech, they have 2 of the better offensive players that you will see in college basketball, Monte Morris and George Niang. I would not let this clock wind down and let them make a play at the end of the clock and only have 3 or 4 seconds to go to tie the game. I'd maybe try to run a little trap at them, gamble a little bit, maybe send a quick double and see how they react.
So out of the timeout, each team with 1 remaining. It'll be Thomas. Team batted on the side for the Cyclones. Williams to guard him. And he gets it to Morris quickly. Monte will be patient.
Now it's going to be a high ball screen, Niang and Morris. Pick your poison. What you do, Texas Tech. Going to have to switch out.
Monte Morris, the long shot doesn't go. Gray has it. And try and get a shot off. Smith, it'll count if it goes. It doesn't. And we're going to overtime. And Tubby Smith saying, where's the foul? So to the 2nd straight Wednesday, the 2nd straight home game for Texas Tech. Going to overtime in a Big 12 contest.
I'm not sure this is what Steve Prohm wanted. three-pointer with 6-7 seconds to go, and this allows Texas Tech an opportunity. A good rebound here. With a push up the floor by Devontae Williams, and it's kind of just a collision, but I wouldn't have said that's a foul.
Williams was a little out of control there and slipped. Really tripped over Morris. Now, anyway, we're going to overtime.
Well, that's the problem with the new rule for the coaches, because if in fact you do want a timeout, you can't get it unless one of your players call it. And maybe Texas Tech would have been better served as soon as Gray got the rebound to get a quick timeout. Then they would have had a ton of time to get the ball up the floor and get it to the rim.
Iowa State with a win, within a game of first place in the Big 12, and win their 4th straight on the road in league play. Very hard to do in this conference.
Just stopping the ball right at midcourt.
The last 4 games for Texas Tech have gone to overtime. They start this overtime with the basketball. And Iowa State has Deontay Burton and George Niang in foul trouble. They each have 4. Nader already out of this game for the Cyclones.
Little chess match. Steve Prohm going to the zone, trying to protect Niang.
Williams for 3. Off the lip, Niang gets the rebound.
See, Texas Tech can't forget how they got here. Mixing, matching their defense. Even though Iowa State's in the zone, they still need to go inside and see if Niang will defend. There's a lot of time left now with 4 fouls.
Spinning, Niang throws it up. A little strong backside. Aaron Ross grabs it for the Red Raiders. Williams hustles it ahead. 19 points for Williams tonight. Working into the corner, back out for the senior. 10 to shoot. Ross for 3. No, Gray skied in there, tried to tip it back out for Texas Tech, but it gets to Morris. And here's Iowa State. Nobody has scored yet in overtime.
Well, not to beat a dead horse, but Texas Tech again, 2nd possession in a row, taking a perimeter shot, not even probing the inside of the Iowa State defense.
Morris took it deep. Thomas back for Morris for 3. In and out. Morris hustles for the rebound, finds Burton, and he scores. Great hustle by the point guard, Monte Morris.
How many ways can this man beat you? The in and out jumper, but finding a way.
First points of the overtime. And a foul inside against Iowa State.
That's what Texas Tech needs to do. And those first 2 possessions of the overtime, Zach Smith was out in the left corner instead of trying to get into the middle of the lane and post up against Niang.
Aaron Ross will go to the line to shoot 2. That foul on Matt Thomas, number 1 on him. 18 tonight for Aaron Ross. His average is 9.
Texas Tech really could mail right their own ticket if they got Burton and Niang out of this game, and both with 4 fouls, because there's nobody to come in for Iowa State.
Ross, 18 points in the second half and overtime. We were tied at 37 at halftime, tied at 78 at the end of regulation. We're tied here in overtime at 80. Under 3 minutes to go. Looking inside, he's going to pull up. Is that a wasted possession?
It was pretty good defense by Texas Tech. They played the pick and roll with Niang and Morris well. I mean, Burton can knock that shot down. I thought that was good offense. Again, Clay, look how spread out Texas Tech is offensively. They have no one in the lane.
Smith is trying to work himself free behind Niang. Williams is going to settle for a long 3. Off the mark, Thomas clears it. Here comes Morris in transition. Nobody slowed him down. It's blocked at the rim by Williams, who got up to get a piece. And Gray tracks it down to keep it in bounds.
That was awful close to goaltending. Steve Prohm was not happy.
Williams, a 6'4" backcourt player, but he blocked that like a postman.
Texas Tech is getting absolutely zero movement on the interior of this Iowa State zone, and now Iowa State back to the man.
He's going to stay down on this end, and here's a look back. Was this goaltending?
Iowa State rushes the ball up the floor and hits the glass. Absolutely, that's an easy one.
Just 2 seconds on the shot clock here for the Red Raiders. Keenan Evans got it! Throws up a prayer and it's answered. First lead since 51 seconds remaining in the first half, when it was 35-34. Niang got it back, gets it out to Morris. His three. Gray goes high for the board.
Texas Tech has to get reorganized, and Evans at the top, as you said, the bank from Dallas.
"13-2 run for Texas Tech." Williams slips, recovers, can't score. Burton gathers it up for Iowa State. 38 seconds to go. Thomas pulls it back out.
Iowa State did a good job pushing the ball up the court, but Texas Tech suddenly really focused on defense to stop them in transition.
Iowa State uses a timeout here with 29.7 seconds left. Trailing by 3, trying not to get upset for their second straight year in Lubbock. Look at the logo on the floor.
Well, you work on special situations. I don't think this is in Tubby's playbook. Lovely in Lubbock for Keenan Evans.
It's from basically El Paso, the map.
Goodness.
And it bangs off the window. Iowa State has won 7 of the last 9 meetings in this series. But they lost the last time they were here. We showed you the highlights of that upset a year ago. They're in danger of going down again here tonight. But there's 29.7 seconds left in overtime. Tech leads it by 3, but Iowa State has the ball.
Now they're going to try to just get a quick bucket. Moore's going to make something happen. They're going to set a little down screen, a little staggered down screen away from the ball. He's going to try to turn the corner, get to the rim really quickly.
Thomas looking to get it in, and does. It's Niang. He's blocked by Smith. And George Niang will go to the foul line.
And that's what George Niang does. He just, if he gets just even the smallest angle, finds a way to get into your body and draw the foul.
16 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists for George. He's 0 for 1 at the line tonight. After this, what does Iowa State do?
Well, they're going to get up in their pressure because Texas Tech at times this year has shown that they've struggled against the press and hold on to wins late. They had the lead late at Arkansas. They had the lead late here against West Virginia. So nothing's in their pocket. Tubby's going to drop his best press offense here. So I think Steve Prohm's going to give his press a chance to maybe slap one press on, maybe a second one, then they have to look to foul.
Here's a look at the updated Big 12 standings. Baylor winning tonight at Kansas State to pull within a game of first place. That's held down by 3 teams right now: Oklahoma, Kansas, and West Virginia. Of course, Kansas and Oklahoma meet this Saturday in Norman. And Iowa State trying to join a 3-way tie for what would be 4th place with Baylor and Texas. They're down a point here with 27.8 seconds to go. Texas Tech has a couple of timeouts remaining. Iowa State is out of timeouts now.
Tubby Smith's got all his ball handlers in the game. He's got Zach Smith out of the game, who struggled at the free throw line, and Justin Gray, reliable inbounds passer. He got the floor spread.
Burton will face guard Gray. Can run that baseline and does. Gets it into Williams, a very good foul shooter. He's hemmed in. And timeout, Tubby Smith.
Well, Devontae Williams picked up his dribble over there in the death spot. And now Texas Tech better have a good play where they can space the court. They are in a very difficult spot to inbound the ball. 80 feet from the basket on the sideline, and Iowa State's going to get up on the inbounder and switch everything. Look for Texas Tech to run some players deep to try to force Iowa State to open the floor a little bit defensively, but this is not going to be an easy inbounds for Texas Tech.
Texas Tech started the season 11-1, even received votes at one point for the top 25. You and I saw him very early in the conference season. We said this is not the same Texas Tech team we saw a year ago. Wins have come sparingly in 2016, but this is a tough place to win. They're showing it again here tonight.
Evans and Williams are in the middle of the floor. They're going to send one long and probably flash Gotcher back to the ball from the half-court area.
Gray having trouble, tries to force it into Ross. And Ashton got a hand on it to knock it out of bounds.
Absolutely. That is maybe the most difficult spot on the floor to inbound the ball against pressure. Now Gray again taking it out of bounds, but obviously cannot move. He's on a dead spot.
22 seconds to go. Shot clock is off, obviously. 83-82 Texas Tech. Gray again. Burton slaps it back. Boy, shaking loose behind the defense was Keenan Evans. You heard the crowd get loud as they saw him get open too, but wasn't Justin Gray able to see him.
Yeah, but he got to be wide open. He was a little bit open, but not open enough to gamble with a 1-point lead. I mean, you have to remember, there's a lot of air that comes underneath the basketball from that spot to the other end of the floor, and you've got to have a big space between your man, between the offensive player and the defender. Now they're going to look at the clock. Ball faking, timing, and quick, short passes so important right now.
Mike Stewart, lead official here tonight, and after the official review, going to take off 4 tenths.
We got to get it across by 13.8.
So it's 21.7.
It's 21.7, but also they're going to have only less than 9 seconds to get across half court. 13.8 on the clock. If it goes below that, then Iowa State's forced to turnover. But I don't think Iowa State's going to wait that long. They're going to one trap, maybe a second trap, and then they're going to foul.
Tubby making a change. He gives it to Smith to inbound it, not Gray, and he got it in. Evans back for Smith, and he's fouled. So Smith will go to the foul line. Not a great free throw shooter, especially compared to some of the other guys on the roster. And Hallis Cook commits the foul. That's his 3rd.
That's a good move. He put Zach Smith in the game, just a capable, solid passer. He saw that Justin Gray was having trouble because of Burton's pressure on the basketball, and Zach Smith, longer, taller than Burton, did a good job ball faking and made a solid pass to Evans. Texas Tech has to have a game plan. Obviously, if they're up 2, no threes and no layups. If they're up 3, they've got to figure out if they're going to foul.
Clutch free throws by the sophomore from Plano, Texas. Iowa State doesn't have any timeouts. 10 seconds to go. Down 3. Thomas got it off. Missed it. Smith the rebound. And for the second straight year, Texas Tech upsets Iowa State in Lubbock.
Well, a gritty win for Texas Tech. Iowa State played a tough game with limited numbers, but Texas Tech had an answer at every step of the way, including in overtime on the last possession. Just rock solid defense on the three-point line. Decided not to foul. Matt Thomas got a look, but not a good look.
The second win this year for Texas Tech in conference play against a team is currently ranked as Iowa State goes down. Here's another look at the last play.
Well, the 3D was called from the bench, which means switch on everything. And Iowa State, Texas Tech did a good job of switching, and Iowa State clock was running out. They got a good look from Thomas, a decent look, not a great one. They didn't let his feet set on the perimeter. And again, on the glass, toughness by Texas Tech.
They stormed the floor for the second time in Lubbock against Iowa State last year. Tubby Smith's team beat the number 9 Cyclones. Tonight, they take out number 14 Iowa State, 85-82. They had 5 players in double figures tonight, led by Aaron Ross's 20.